Right, welcome everyone. For those of you that are on with us tonight on Monday night, first Monday of December, and then for those of you guys that'll be listening to the recording, so we have kind of a new series for this month of December, and Ready, Set, and Serve. And so we're going to be focusing our messages a little bit on that topic, and we've got it broken down. So we'll be having Monday night calls tonight on the 8th, on the 15th, and then obviously we won't have anything the week of Christmas, and then we'll come back the last Monday of December. I think that there's plenty of time between that and festivities that happen for um, what's it called? The New Year. We'll have plenty of time. So, anyway, what we're going to kind of focus on tonight is really just building momentum into the new year, and that's really kind of our mindset, I think, for December and things that we can work on. But first, before we even get started, I think there's some things that we want to celebrate from November. And you guys did a great job with customer acquisitions for December. For November. Lots of people took great advantage of the Black Friday. And then I didn't have a chance to look today, maybe some Cyber Monday. I know Sheila, like, I don't even know how many orders the lady put in, but I think she had at least 11 that were customer
Oh,
orders that I counted. And then you put in a slew of orders yourself. So, congratulations on a great November. And hopefully you'll see that reflected in your paycheck as it drops here in the next couple of days. Carol, you did a great job as well. Lots of orders. I know that you guys worked really hard getting that information out to your customers about Black Friday and all of that. So congratulations on that. And um, when you think back about, 2025, do any of you guys want to share like what were some of the biggest what are you proud of? Like what did you accomplish in 2025? Was there something that you set out to do at the beginning of the year that you've accomplished and you go, "Oh, I feel pretty good about that." I think as we reflect on 2025, the first word that came up for me was like we survived, right? Because there was a lot. There was a lot being, handed to us that we didn't ask for, right? And we had to work through it. And so, I don't know, for me, you had to kind of become a problem solver. And anytime you become a problem solver, I think you are better. Like you can end the year better, right? So I
mm,
don't know if you guys can relate. Like when you bring a new partner on, and they get better as they have to work through helping their new customers solve problems, right? That makes them stronger. So I'm hoping that what we can say for 2025, unless you guys, I'd love to hear what your input is, but I would have to say for me personally, it was, like we didn't just survive, like we got better at what we do as a result. We had to become better problem solvers. Does anybody else have anything that you can think of?
mm. I can't think of the word exactly, but basically, we had to learn everything from scratch. How are we going to place orders? How are we going to interact at booths and events at our home? And um, so that was, again, a survival, but thriving and pivoting, figuring things out, more problem solving. But I feel really good about how all of us came through that, helping each other. I feel like we were just kind of like, okay, here, you pull on this rope, I'll pull on that one, and we'll see which how this works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of, along with that, Lori, I think about the teamwork, just persevering, if that word came to my mind, just persevering through it all, but with a lot of encouragement and teamwork, because we know that what we have is we're not going to let all this other techie stuff compromise what we have. So I think the perseverance and it kind of solidified, I think, a lot of our values.
Yeah. It's worth
And
it, right? It was worth
yeah,
it, bottom line.
yeah,
I mean, obviously we don't want to do it again.
right,
But
right.
if it had to happen, we made it to the other side. Chris is
Yeah.
another one. We were doing recognition a second ago. Chris, congratulations on a great month of November. I know you took advantage of Black Fridays and got some new customers, and so congratulations on that. We're super excited for
Thank
that.
you.
And
Thank you.
we are in reflection of 2025, and we're going to start talking a little bit about 2026 and how we can maybe build some momentum into the new year. And you know, really it's almost like at this time of year, my mindset is always like, what am I going to commit to? If I want to see any wins in 2026, like I have to have that mindset going in now and try to start figuring things out so that when 2026 happens, like I'm not, scrambling, right? Like I already have in my brain what I want to happen. And so I'm just going to give you guys some things to think about. And who is BN? Who does anybody know who that is? You do? Okay, awesome. Um, Charity. Well, Charity, we're glad you're here. And as we go into 2026, these are maybe some habits that we can consider to work on in preparation for 2026. And when we think about moving our business, right, I'm really committing possibly to having at least 5 conversations a day, right? Who's really good at doing that already? Maybe not every day, but most days of the week. I know that a lot of you guys are. And those 5 conversations can range from follow-up calls to customer care, checking in with team members, all of those things. And yet, um, just maybe taking it a step beyond that. And once you've started the conversation, trying to elongate the conversation. So, what I mean by that is, can you pivot from just the regular customer care to kind of starting a conversation and trying to engage that person a little bit longer than what you normally would, right? So for me, that's a challenge because it's a lot easier just to say, "Hey, did you get your Juice Plus?" Right? But if I really want to do a quality check-in with that person, I'm going to have to be a little bit more thoughtful about that. Um, I love the win back campaign because it gives you a lot of reasons to call and talk to your customers, engage them with that. Anytime we have specials, I think it gives us a way to do that too. Um, I know that Stacy, she always uses the words like out of curiosity, right? Just out of curiosity, what's been going on, trying to engage them that way, or something that you saw on Facebook, or following up with one of the kids, or, all kinds of ways to kind of engage them in conversation. So, you know, really a good habit to if you're not already there to develop, and if that is a habit of yours, to teach that right to your some of your new partners, really helping them understand the importance of that, and then maybe digging a little bit deeper this year with that. Um, One of the things that we've talked a lot about doing events, so this might be the second habit that we could probably work on a little bit, and that would be a, a self-hosted event, right? So, I mean, I know that there are a lot of events going on, but what's your calendar look like, right? So, who are you? What networking meeting are you going to that you're going to personally engage with someone either before, after, or during that event, right? Or do you have an intention of going to that meeting so that you can engage with 1 or 2 people? Um, do you have something on your calendar where you're going to meet somebody for coffee, or you're going to do a launch call? I know Chris has done a great job recently doing launch calls with her partners. um, what is some kind of an event that doesn't have to be an event where it involves a whole lot of team, but it can just be you engaging with other people, right? Because remember, an event doesn't have to be some huge thing, right? It can be a conversation that you've like calendared. And so I think the challenge is not just letting things happen, but intentionally making sure that as many weeks as possible during the month that you're literally putting something on your calendar where you're going to be engaging with one or two people. Um, and then just let those conversations go where they may, right? So going in there well prepared and at the same time being like discovering that person in front of you and really engaging and seeing where that conversation can go. And then I came across this and I thought it was really good. And it talked about applying the three root causes. So perhaps diagnosing what your own challenges are, whether it's a mindset issue, whether it's a skill set issue, or if it's an activity issue. Okay, so let's talk about those three for just a second. A mindset issue might be something like a limiting belief. Um, Usually you'll run across that a little bit more. Well, I'm not going to say that. I think even though we're seasoned, if you will, partners, it's really easy to have that mindset this time of year to say that you don't want to bother people. I'm sure they're busy with family. I'm sure they're busy with the holidays, right? So then we choose not to, right? Because we've got a block. It's really nothing to do about them. It's just easier for us not to, or you don't want to be that salesperson. It's really learning how to reframe things so that because you, as Wendy Campbell has always told us, we have an amazing gift that we need to share, right? That people need to hear more about. And so reframing that so that we don't feel like we're bothering them. The skill set is that whole thing of not knowing the words, not feeling comfortable about how to do the invite, um, not necessarily knowing how to use AI to help you with some of the issues that you're having, right? And just experimenting a little bit with that, how to host your own Zoom or host your own launch call, right? Making sure that you have the skill set. And like we've already talked about with this group, what's kind of cool is that if or maybe it's boards, right? Learning how to do pages. There's lots of different ways and technology and skill sets that you can develop so that it kind of can work in with your strategy for 2026. And perhaps that's one of the things that you want to work on, right? Maybe there's a couple of skills that you want to get better at to make life a little bit easier. Maybe, engaging with the back office and learning a little bit more about reports so that they come alive for you, that you can see what's going on with your team that will help you engage with them at a different level, right? So that's what we are here for as one team, one mission to be able to help each other kind of work through some of that. So, so we talked about mindset, skill set, and then the last one is just the activity. And again, you know, I'm talking to you guys like I know that you schedule your activity, whether you're blocking time, whether you're putting it on your calendar, whether it's just part of your DMO, right? How do you get the activity done? Are you guys engaging in power hours? Um, do you, I don't know what that looks like, but I feel like at this point, at this stage of the game, most people have a way to make sure that their activity is getting done. Would you guys agree with that? Do you guys feel good about that? Yeah, and I mean, I think sometimes is again, I mean, the reason that one of the reasons that we got into this business is that so that we can enjoy the holidays and enjoy our families, right? But at the same time, um, we are scheduling time in our calendars to make sure because you also don't want to like you want to be present with your families, right? We can spend a lot of time in our head if we don't get it done like feeling guilty about what we didn't do. And instead, if we just scheduled or got up a little bit earlier before the festivities start to get our DMO done so that we can just feel better and let it go. Do you guys get what I'm saying with that? Right? So I think that's the discipline that we have to have going into the holidays. At least I know that that works for me. Um, so just thinking about as you approach like what 2026 looks like for you, are there areas within mindset or skill set or activities that you want to address? And it doesn't have to be huge, right? But maybe there are a couple of things that we want to address going into the new year. And if there are, let's talk about those, what they are, right? So that we can, Lori or Cheryl, I can help you guys maybe figure out and develop a strategy where you can work towards accomplishing and getting better in those areas. And then the last thing I really wanted to maybe touch on for just a few minutes before we all hop off here is, you'll hear a lot about like a vision board or setting your goals and setting your intentions for 2026. And I think it looks like it may look a little bit different for each of you because, again, we've all been doing this for a long enough time that we have kind of what works for us. And perhaps the biggest question that we have to answer when we start looking at what our goals and intentions are is, has your why shifted? Have you guys thought about that? Like for 2026, have things changed in your life and perhaps your why maybe is a little bit different this year? I can't answer that question, but maybe for you, right? So I think that's kind of worth thinking about. One of the things I already started doing is you guys know, I work off a Remarkable. One of the things David Beavers has always taught us is just to, like live on paper. That's why I love my Remarkable because I can write things down. And so as I as I'm thinking of things like starting over the Thanksgiving holidays, I started one just blank sheet of paper where I have, there's no rhyme or reason to it, but if I thought about it in terms of, gosh, maybe I could do that in 2026, maybe that would be a good strategy, or maybe I should work on this in 2026, or, I haven't spoken to them in a long time. Maybe I, need to touch base with them. Like, no limit. It's my 2026 page. Anything that comes to my brain right now, I'm just writing it down. Like I'm not filtering it. I'm not trying to get it down perfectly. I'm just writing it down. Because um when you because one of the things that will happen as we approach 2026, right? I think the end, maybe the last call of the month, we'll talk about a vision board, right? Or we'll talk about how you actually work through getting that information ready for 2026. But right now, maybe you just start writing ideas down, right? And then because we all know how the brain works, right? So if you start like putting that stuff on paper, then you'll start to see your like brain will open up and more ideas will come and you'll be able to build that out a little bit easier. Um, and I guess it kind of brings me to the last question I think I have for you guys would be, and I'll share with you, Sheila, a little bit about the Remarkable tablet. It's a tablet, basically. Um, it's just a writing tablet. So, how do you guys do do you do a vision board? Do you work through a Catherine Lee planner? Like, how do you, how do you plan for 2026? What do you guys do?
Start with the biggest rocks, the things that I want on the calendar. In 2026, we'll have a grandbaby coming. So that's a big thing. Of course, also all the Juice Plus live events, Monday nights, Thursdays, all the things that I know that I want to continue, they're on the calendar so that there's no excuse. And then,
what
so,
do you do with your goals and things though, Lori? Like, do you do a vision board? Do you just work through paper and develop strategies, or what do you do?
I think I have it in front of me here on this paper, but um, I a vision board with words because I'm kind of pretty practical. I don't need to cut out a bunch of pictures or anything. So I'm just putting the words kind of out there for myself on a board of this is where I'm going, this is what I want to accomplish. And I'm going to be real, like sometimes I have goals that are carried over year to year. It's like, oh, I didn't quite get there or whatever. So, that doesn't make it any less of something that I want to accomplish, but I always use what Kurt says, evaluate and celebrate what happened and identify the good things and then identify the things that didn't go so well and then figure out what needs to change
Yeah.
to make things improve.
Awesome. Anybody else? So Sheila says she has a vision board, one color to the next, and plan month to month. Awesome. Yeah, I know everybody. I mean, mine is it's kind of it's a vision board app, if you will, but it makes it really easy for me to take information like very simply and put it in a way that is meaningful to me. Like if there's a verse or something, and then I can tie like what that verse means and make it applicable to either business or life or whatever. Um, so there's a lot of different things that you do that. That also has like a little gratitude journal in there, so that helps me in the morning. Um, so there's a bunch of different things that are out there, but I was just interested to see if you guys actually have a way that you do
Yeah.
your planning.
I'm similar to what Sheila said. Do the same thing, and I have a vision board. And I like Terry Savelle Foy, her vision board book. She's got an organizer in the front. You write your top 10 goals and you break it down to steps and do pictures with it. And that's been helpful to review those
Yeah.
every day.
Oh, good.
Oh, yay!
Awesome. Well, we're going to stick here for a second and let everybody talk, but if you do need to hop off and get on the call with Dr. Sears, you guys go ahead and do that.
Okay, great to see you guys.
Bye, Cheryl.
Bye.
I had one thing I wanted to say on engaging, having longer conversations on the authentic outreach in our One Team, One Mission board. He gives us all the questions to have deeper conversations and longer conversations. And for a partner, no, a customer, that you start out with these two questions. How is Juice Plus going? What improvements have you seen? What improvements are you seeing? Those are two questions to get your conversation going. It gives you more, but if I'm just working on those two with everybody and I'm having deeper, better conversations,
Awesome.
it's simple. It's
Yeah, I think
easy.
sometimes we just get overwhelmed and it just becomes complicated. It doesn't have to be. Well, you got the whole group in there, Sheila. Let's hear if you can talk now.
So yeah, Ty's really good with computers. So Jane and I couldn't figure it out, but Ty came right in. But I
Awesome.
wanted to say a little bit about Charity, who's on the call.
Yes.
Charity, thank you for getting on the call. Do you want to say anything, Charity, about why you decided to come back to Juice Plus and to come back as a partner, or do you want me to say it?
She's
Okay.
muted.
Yeah. Do you want to unmute yourself, Charity, and speak with us for just a minute?
This is very exciting because I remember when Charity left and we had a conversation and you were like heartbroken that Charity left. You had so many heart and dreams, and now God made it happen again. It's
Do you
very
remember?
exciting to see you back, Charity. Yes,
Do you
I
remember
was.
praying, Chris? Do you remember
Yeah,
praying?
actually, I am excited to be on this Zoom with you. So right now, the reason why I'm muted is because I'm in the hospital, and that's because of my health. So I would like Sheila to just say what she can say about me, and I'm okay because where I am, you know,
So
I
thank
can't
you.
talk. Yeah, I'm in the hospital, so I can talk where many people are. So I will ask my downline Sheila to say it to all, and then at another time, I will like to say it myself.
Oh,
Okay.
Thank you.
thanks,
Yeah.
Charity. We hope you get better.
Yeah.
She remembered when I lived there getting on Juice Plus and her health being better then. And she had a crisis on a plane. They had an emergency landing for Charity. And she's been sick for the last few months, couple months. And she knew that Juice Plus would help her get her health back. And so she wanted to do that, but she also, as a nurse, wanted to be able to help others. I didn't know this until last night, but she had put her daughter Gift on Juice Plus when she was a little girl. Her Gift was not walking. She had polio as a young child in Nigeria. And she started walking after she was on Juice Plus. And so
Yay,
Charity is now
yay.
an adult and she does therapy for families and children. And she felt like she could help people with Juice Plus the way she had been helped. So her mom, Charity, and her daughter Gift have signed up to be partners together and share this
Wow.
mission in Orange County, California. So, Chris, I was going to ask you to resend the video that you did starting your new
Yes.
partner because I think they would be blessed to do the same thing with
Yes.
their family and
Yes.
friends.
God
So,
always gives more. Now look, you Charity left and she brought back three with her. That is so amazing.
yes, because Gift's best friend is also signing up to be a partner
Yes.
with
God
them.
multiplies. And Sheila, this is so amazing because I remember this conversation. You thought you lost the whole line.
We
And
did.
now
We
look at what God has done. You've been faithful. You have been faithful. You have stuck with it through thick and thin, Sheila, through disappointment, and God has been faithful. And the thing about this, what stands out to me is it's in God's timing. You didn't know Charity was coming back. You didn't know how God was going to build your business, but you were faithful, Sheila. And God was faithful to you that the seeds that you have sown have reaped an amazing harvest.
Thank
So
you,
it's
Chris.
going to be exciting. It's going to be
Yes.
so exciting, Charity, to see what God does. It's all going to be what God does. All glory to Him.
It is amazing that from the hospital, she decided to partner with the Juice Plus company and get it done
Yes,
by midnight last night because she
Wow.
wanted
yes,
that free box of sample packs that she's going to
yes.
get. So,
That's great.
and then she jumped on the call tonight. So I'm really proud
Awesome.
of you, Charity.
Yay. Awesome.
All
Well,
right.
that's a
Thanks.
great way to end this call. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And that's
Thank
a great
you.
way just to, again, see what God has in store for us for 2026. You guys, I've always said, like, I think that we get what we expect. And so, with God, He equips us and there's no telling what's out there for us, right? It's all good. All good.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank